Hello and welcome to Moc Talk.
We're your hosts, Moc.
And Daniel on NBR National Brick Radio. We're here in the Atlanta Brick Coast studio. Let's talk about some MOCs. We got our special guest today. We got
Hello,
Alex
everyone.
joining us as our special third guest today here on Moc Talk. So this is our live stream where we talk all about MOCs that are going on in the community, from our fans, from ourselves.
From the past.
From the past, that's true.
Yep.
So without further ado, we will kick it off with our very first segment, a little segment we like to call My Own MOCs. Isn't that right, Mark?
Oh yes, it's the greatest title ever.
That's right. So MOCs, of course, meaning my own creations. We got a little bit of redundancy there, but this is My Own MOCs. Actually, before we get into it, Alex, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself as our special guest today?
Yeah, of course. I'm Alex. I worked here years and years ago, left for a while, and came back. Just too good to
The return
leave.
of the prodigal son.
The sabbatical, he's returned. So, yeah.
Now, many of you probably, in terms of mock, know my brother John
Mhm.
Snyder. He is an amazing mock builder, surpassed me in every way. We used to do
How very
mocks
humble of
together
you.
way back
Mark,
in
we
like
got the wrong one.
2015.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But I kind of come into the scene a bit this past year, finally having time to work on mocks myself. So
Mhm.
I am newer, but I do enjoy it, and especially enjoy others' mocks, especially you, Daniel, Mark.
There's a lot to
Steven.
see on
Fantastic.
the stream coming up
Learned
too.
so much from y'all, and want to continue to learn about it.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Well, glad you're here today. We actually have some stuff to show from Alex in just a second. Once I get that email, so go ahead and talk, Daniel.
Hopefully, it made it.
Well, that's all right. We'll get
It's
started.
here.
We'll get started with my own MOCs. Did you want me to kill some time while you get those up?
Just really quickly, let me save this.
I think
and
actually
upload
all
it.
three of us have something to show
We
today.
literally do. So let's have you talk about your train.
Yeah, sure. I'll start with an unconventional MOC. This is my own creation. It's something that I created that is related to Lego, while it is not made out of Lego, though. So
It
this
is
is
Lego, though.
this is a reproduction that I made of one of the original Lego wooden toys, which is one of the trains. Now I have also created a recreation of a wooden duck as well.
Yeah.
So we'll show this off. I'm just showing this off now because I actually just recently got the little metallic stickers made for it there
That's
that has
really
that
good.
It's the little
original
decal there.
classic that classic Lego logo on it. I didn't take any pictures of it, otherwise we would have submitted them. I'm trying to get it to focus here,
Yeah. It's got a little focus there.
so yeah, that was something that I put together recently. There's a whole slew of different trains that all kind of look similar, so this is sort of an amalgamation of all of
So
them.
it's not
Sort of.
based like exclusively on one Lego train design.
I mean, there was one that looked like this, but there's also a number of ones that have, either a different number of wheels or the
Mhm.
passenger cars are slightly different lengths and things. So, but this seems to be one of the original ones. So I still need to find some couplers to put it together, but I figured I'd show it
magnets.
off. Yeah, since I got those nice decals made for it. They actually turned out really nice. I just went to a sticker making company and they had ones that were like metallic background.
That's
So
nice.
I think it looks really nice. I think it's a nice little finishing touch that brings it all together.
Fantastic. Not with Lego bricks, but Lego in
That's
spirit.
right. That's right.
Absolutely.
Lego related. So, like I said, I had made a wooden duck prior as well that had the function where you could pull it along and the little beak would go up and down. So, my dad's big into woodworking, so he and I decided
He
to
is.
decided to do those. He's got a whole wood shop, so sometimes when I'm home for the holidays or something, I'll say, "Hey, Dad, you wanna start a new project? I've got another idea."
That's
I've got some
fantastic.
things we can work on
Yeah.
here. That's
and in,
great.
having been to Lego House a couple times now, I've seen the real original wooden toys several times, and they're prohibitively expensive.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
Very,
I just
very
figured, why not make my own and
Exactly.
have more fun doing it.
Yeah, that's actually like as many rare things as we see at Atlanta Brick Code. Wooden stuff we do not see.
No,
Ever. I don't think
not
we've ever
ever
seen
at
anything,
all.
so.
Not in any capacity.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of people here. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to
Yeah.
like, comment, subscribe. We can't respond to every comment because we have to keep this show going.
That's right.
But one that we will point out is Corey, our train expert, who is extremely
Trains?
excited. Yeah.
Trains? Where?
Trains?
Where?
What?
Who's got trains?
So Corey's excited about the trains. We're all loving the train.
That's right.
It's good.
That's right.
Now, Alex, you last minute were able to send me a picture of your
Yes,
build. Can I
very
throw
last
that up
minute.
for us here?
Yeah, go right ahead.
This is your Minecraft build, isn't it? Would you like to
It
describe
is,
that
yes.
for us?
I'm working on a Savannah village. This is probably the hardest Minecraft village to do, really because of the tiles. They don't make 2x2 olive green tiles, so you have to use 2x4 and 2x2 jumpers.
Wow.
And the grass stems are about $2 plus each.
Yep.
It's very hard to buy in large quantity. And this is one of the reasons people don't do this one on a large scale. There's smaller ones. So I really wanted to go at it, and also my brother thankfully had those stems, so I'm able to borrow them and make this happen.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I've used lighting before in a mock. This is kind of new territory for me. I did ask Mark for recommendations and advice on this. Recommended fairy lights. So just went on Amazon and found some that have different functions. I wanted a battery one with a remote to be able to kind of make a sparkling effect in the water. Because my next plan for this mock is on the other side have a blacksmith shop plus kind of a lava pool.
Oh, nice.
So there'll be light on either side. I've seen lava done, but I hadn't seen water done. So I'm testing some new things in the kind of the Minecraft mock world.
Yeah.
And just to make it more realistic as well. I've always wanted to do that. It's been a lot of fun. It's really coming together. So
Yeah, that looks really professional and polished, Alex. For getting into this kind of, I would say, from a new experience for you, this is a really fantastic start.
Yeah,
I can
thanks.
immediately recognize the Minecraft aesthetic and the design, and the lights look really cool too. So
yeah, thanks for your help with that. That was a big help.
I love the little drowned with the trident over in the water.
My
They're the
wife
most
really likes
annoying mob
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
But you want to get them just in case they drop that trident, so you have to fight them and possibly die. So it's that's a great inclusion there.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love seeing the more realistic Minecraft builds because the playsets are okay, and it at least means we get minifigures and mobs and new pieces and things. But I think Minecraft really shines in Lego when it's done by mock builders in the actual correct proportions and a little more fleshed out with a lot more pieces. So this is awesome to see.
Exactly.
I like that you've done the walls all the way down with solid colors, but it does look like you have some sort of modular attachment points. So as you expand
It's true,
this,
yeah,
you
it can
can
be expanded, which is a
link
lot of
sections
fun.
together. Yeah, that's great.
It may be too late to change it now, but I always suggest people
Yeah.
try the axle modular connection versus the pin
Oh, interesting.
because
Is it-
it's so
yeah.
much smoother of a separation.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So,
I've noticed
but
sometimes it can-
Minecraft also lends itself to being very blocky and strong, so you might not need to worry about it. But
Oh, thanks
that's
for that advice, especially to use axles.
pro tip from someone
Yeah.
who's assembled a lot of modular landscapes.
Yeah,
The
that's
axles
great.
can kind of, or the pins can kind of get bound up sometimes when you're
Exactly.
trying to snap them together.
They are a little less of a smooth snapping transition. Anyway, we all have mocks today, which is pretty
That's
cool.
right, you're
this
up,
is
Mark.
this is Moc Talk, guys.
That's
This
right.
is the Moc Central. Great job, both you guys. But let me I'm
The
just
big
gonna
one.
Here, we'll move this
This
down.
is a little
here.
awkward here. There we go. So this
Can't be
is
Daniel anymore.
part of the Tron Tower I'm working on. This is the base, the first third of it.
Pay
I don't
no
know-
attention to
Yeah.
the side behind the curtain.
Yeah. There's the back side. There's the other back side. That
that's
so
it.
there's a couple angles that are definitely not finished. This is recently disassembled and rebuilt. So this is one of 3 sections. Like I said, here's the top one, which should go about here when it's done. So it's way off camera, but
yeah.
it's
It's
this
up there.
It's gonna be about 4 feet tall when it's done.
Wow.
And this is rebuilding a previous one, making it lighter, stronger, using regular Lego base plates on the inside to make it smooth.
Okay.
And therefore, it should do a Russian nesting doll trick once it's fully completed. So it will actually all fit within this space here, which is, less than half of what it took before to move this thing.
Mhm.
It's also a lot stronger and lighter, etc. So I'm very happy with the rebuild. I've managed to improve it dramatically from the first take, so that's good. But for everybody at home, want to show off the lights, of course, because lights are
Oh, that's
important
great.
to the Tron aesthetic. So we're going to plug these in really quick. Hopefully they work. There we go.
Hey.
You can't really see them.
Amazing.
We're very brightly illuminated here in the studio, but you get the idea there. They're pretty bright. And once you turn off the lights in the convention center or in the studio where I keep
Yeah.
this, it's very dazzling. So.
Yeah, that's great.
But it gives you some idea of the scale. It's just a big old tower. This is one of the larger ones in the scene, so
Mhm.
it's pretty fun. But yeah, it's much sturdier than it used to be. I mean, you can just kind of hold it, and hopefully it won't disassemble itself. A lot more connection points and durability, hopefully. So,
That's great.
because this one did break up pretty bad on the trip back from Nashville last year.
It's always tough.
As someone else who's built an equilateral triangle-shaped skyscraper, it's
Mhm.
one of the hardest shapes to do in Lego because there
It's
aren't
kind of tricky, yeah.
there aren't a lot of
Yeah.
pieces that allow you to get that angle. There's like the Nexonites Nexagon piece has the 3,
It
and then there's
does,
lots of
yeah.
like Technic elements that are split into 3, but there's not a lot of things that allow you to do equilateral triangles.
Thankfully, Lego has developed some new wedge plates that work well on the top surface, so I can
Yeah.
have a studded surface on the top.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I would be doing something else. I have no idea. Slopes, maybe. So, yeah, interesting to work within a triangular format and footprint. So, but that's our own mocks. So, what's the next
That's right.
segment?
We will
Daniel?
cruise on to our next segment, which is still called Untitled News Segment. So this is where we will cover some notable mocks that are going on in the community in recent history, within the past few weeks or so, since the last time we've done this. This could be mocks that were originally posted or reshared on large platforms, things that became suddenly very prevalent in the community and most people have probably already seen, but we're going to talk about our opinions about them and see what we can see what else we can discuss about.
Exactly. Recent mocks that really caught our attention.
Absolutely.
And
Especially with Scarebeck going on this past week and all the new builds going into the Lego house display. There are tons of great things going on.
Let's
right now in
save the
mock community.
biggest and best for last. And if you guys have your phones, and you're welcome to look them up so you can see pictures too.
For sure.
The first one that I wanted to show, I thought of you when I saw this, Daniel.
I can't imagine why.
I thought that you would like
I don't
the
know why.
NPU going on here, and this is.
I hate clowns. I don't like it.
This is Clowning Around by Aiden Builds. Aiden.builds on Instagram. Go check him out. This is really brilliant because it's an unusual scale. It's completely unique, and it features some pieces that are basically useless
Yeah,
in
you can
any
say that
other
again.
context. So
Yeah,
the little
exactly.
Duplo clown face used perfectly here to make it look like such a charming character with all the other details. Upgrading a 1980s piece probably to modern, curvature and styling is just, I think, brilliant. Alex, I'd love your opinion before we let Daniel dunk on this a little bit. And he'll be nice because they may end up seeing this. But yeah, Alex, what do you think about the Clowning Around build here?
This is amazing. I love how they use a piece that really nobody would think of to put into a mock, that kind of Duplo face. Because whenever I see that in a collection, I just go right over it again.
It's
like,
filler
don't
brick,
even
yeah.
acknowledge. And I think this is a good example of, sometimes when we think of mocks, we think of these huge giant mocks, thousands and thousands of pieces. But you really only need a few pieces to make an amazing build, amazing mock. And I think this is a great example of that.
I think that's also a Clicket's bow tie going on too.
It looks like it, yeah. Or at least a couple hearts in a circle or something.
So, like, different eras of Lego. A lot of these pieces, like, going on with the feet and the legs and stuff are more recent. But the 80s face and the early 2000s Clicket's bow, the NPU is just really special to me. So, Daniel, what you gotta have a thought on this.
I do. No, this is a very good mock. I don't dunk on anything during mock talk. It's a pretty upbeat stream.
Yeah.
The execution here is great. I can't tell if the hair. So the toes are motorcycle helmets. I can't tell if the hair is also motorcycle helmets or just Technic ball joints.
It might be Technic spheres, yeah. The little.
If I didn't know any better, I would have guessed that this was a Iron Builder competition.
It looks like
build. And if the hair was also motorcycle helmets, I would have guessed that would have been the seed part, and they would have used the part in probably at least 25 or 30 of them here.
Exactly, 30
between
plus.
all of the hair and the shoes down there. So now this is a great execution. It's the subject matter that doesn't do it for me, but hey, they did a great job of it.
It is, yeah. I'm not necessarily like the biggest clown fan either. That's not my jam, but this is a well done build. So
it's okay. He's a pretty innocent looking clown.
It could be in a haunted house. We don't know.
He doesn't look as scary as some clowns I've seen. I mean, looking at the poster of it for sure. Next one we could talk about is from KitKat1414_ on Instagram. They've made a bunch of very immersive scenes in the past. Usually you feel like you're in a Lego world, and this was apparently intended to be that case as well. However, they modified the build to be a diorama and kind of expand on it a little bit when a project, apparently a collaboration, didn't quite pan out for everybody. So this is adapting a mock for one use into another use, and I think it looks spectacular, especially on a textural level. So Daniel, what do you think about this kind of medieval cottage build here?
I think this is great. I love all of the stonework that's going on in the foundations of the building, and then you moved up to the Tudor level with these actually slanted out sections of wall is great. And then up at the roof, for a while there, using Nexo tiles in the roof was getting kind of overdone with people replicating the medieval blacksmith roof. But this is actually taking it to another level, what with it being all tiled off and a little bit more of a random pattern. It's not as formulaic as that medieval blacksmith roof, which you can very quickly tell when it's been reused, repurposed, or recolored in it.
It's brilliant, but it's now a little overdone now.
This is definitely a next level take on that, especially with those little dormers peeking out up there at the top. I love the sand green conical roof going on the far side there as well. Some really nice techniques going on.
Yeah, fantastic build. You got any thoughts on this, Alex? You like the castle genre as far as mock building?
Oh yeah, this is really, like you said, you're focused into this part of the world. And I love how it can be very difficult to go from a collab into just a diorama build or one on your own if you weren't planning for that. I feel like they were really able to, re-implement that very well in this case, which is really nice to see because it really focuses you into this world that they've created. And often I know with these castle mocks and things, builders have a whole story with it and things like attached in the description, and it's just always so fascinating. I don't know if this one did or not.
There's some Wolfpack renegades running along that rooftop, and there seems to be some
I
people
wonder
with
what's
pitchforks
exactly
down
going
below.
on.
It's a bit of a story.
Little scuffle going on.
There's a bit of a situation here. It's pretty fun. So.
That's really fun.
But I'm really excited I was able to fit in so many castle-themed creations
Of course
to
you
the
were.
show
Of
so
course you
far,
were.
despite working on a sci-fi related thing. The third build, which, and not to say that these aren't impressive, but this one was like mind-blowingly awesome. And it's because I think these two builders have all the advantages that they could possibly have. And I say that in a nice way, but this is the Fire-Breathing Fortress from Chris Perron and Wes Talbot. These are two senior LEGO designers. Both were involved with the works of sets like Rivendell, the D&D set, a lot of Marvel and superheroes, and all sorts of amazing sets. So, and like Wes Talbot also designed the Medieval Blacksmith Shop, a set we've already referenced in this stream. So these guys have the building props to do whatever they dream of. And obviously they've gone to the limit here with this build that they brought to Scareback just a few weeks ago, I think now. Here's a picture of the two builders. You got Chris on the left. I've actually had the privilege of meeting Chris in 2018 when I visited Denmark and went to Scareback. I've never met Wes though, and he's one of my favorite designers, so I hope I'll get over across the pond and meet him one day. But two really cool guys. Cool to get a picture. You can put a name to the face. And the rest of the build.
Oh wow,
it's
that's incredible.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of castles.
This is next level.
But this is just like bonkers level stuff. And these guys, like I said about advantages, they can they don't need to buy pieces. They also don't need to sort pieces. They get whatever they want whenever they want, basically, within reason. LEGO doesn't produce all of their catalog and color inventory at once. That's the only limitation, really. So they were able to go nuts with this build and see a giant dragon at the bottom. What do you guys think? What are your initial impressions of this pretty stunning build?
This is great. The color scheme of black, light gray, and red is really a nice stark contrast, and also a callback, I think, to some of those early Dragon Masters and even more classic castle sets there with those larger black panels that were printed with the stonework around it. So a really nice homage in the color scheme there. Of course, it works well, very timeless. And then, of course, the whole thing is nested into this just beautiful landscape that's all on this, at least 30 or 45 degree angle.
There's many angles,
This nice layering to it, and different colors. You've got the dark tan and the bright light orange is kind of an interesting choice for terrain, but it really works to great effect here, and highlighting that huge dragon head that serves as the entrance to the castle with the large portcullis inside.
Here's a good shot of that dragon mouth.
Incredible.
You can fit a whole Lego dragon in there, no problem. It's
you
crazy.
can fit Smaug through there.
Yeah,
Man.
exactly.
That's huge.
It's insane. You also see little details like the dragon eggs and all the Dragon Master's troops lined up all around. And look at this amazing, very small scale, but very detailed dragon. Wes, I believe, was the chief designer of the D&D dragon part of the dragon, discovery set. So this is just kind of miniaturizing what he's very comfortable building already. So it's super cool. So Alex, what do you think?
Yeah,
go ahead.
What do you think?
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts, Alex?
Or you go ahead, Daniel.
I was just going to say, you can really see their prowess as LEGO designers coming through with all of the small details inside that you mentioned, like the dragon eggs and the storytelling aspects. So I think that's definitely something that's gotten enhanced for them in their time as being actual LEGO designers.
Oh, yeah. Well, Alex, what are your impressions of this build? What do you think when you see this gigantic castle creation?
Yeah, what really stood out to me at first was not the castle, but the rock work and everything. The colors were very bright, but then kind of balanced by the dark tan. I know dark tan can be such a pain to get for regular people. So for them, it was,
getting that much dark tan would be troublesome, yes.
But I like how they did kind of a dead grass kind of look on top of it. And I didn't realize at first the dragon until you showed the other side of the picture. That is incredible. That's breathtaking.
I think it was that angle is a good one, yeah.
Mouth of the rock work. So
It's like a giant sculptural dragon that's just a mountain. It's just so it's
yeah, that's the best.
so cool. Oh my goodness. I could talk about this build all day, but we better move on to our next segment here.
These pictures almost look like set pictures. I mean, I don't know if they've cut this out in Photoshop or if they have a real like white back. It almost looks like a rendering. These pictures are
They
so
have
good.
So good. Yeah, Chris is a very talented photographer.
Yeah.
He's always been on the mock scene doing the best work ever. So kudos to both these guys. Really excited to see what future sets they're designing.
Absolutely.
They've shown no signs of slowing down, and it's cool when they get to build some mocks every now and then too. So Blast from the Past is our next segment
That's
we're going
right.
to be doing here. This is where we talk about things that have happened a while ago, at least a few years ago. And now, as we get to the year 2024, soon to be 2025, I feel really old when I go back and look at
to the old days of Flickr.
Oh yes.
Flickr,
So
what's Flickr?
exactly, you don't even know what Flickr is these days, but that's where you can still share higher quality photos than Instagram. It's easier to zoom in, etc.
Yep.
Anyway, I remember seeing some great builds back in 2013 up until recent times. One builder named Bart D. Doblair, I believe that's how it's pronounced, their name. They have done things like Iron Builder. They've done like huge sci-fi landscapes, and one of my favorites from early on in their building career was in 2012, I believe. This is I'm trying to remember the name of the set, this build here, but I believe it was called like Trapped. And if you look down below, you see little skeletons of astronauts trapped within the glow of this moth trap. You know, like this bug zapper for astronauts. It's really got a little bit of a dark twist to it, but it's also very an early example of really good lighting in a mock, which was very inspiring to me back in however many years has it now? 10?
What year did you say?
I said 2012, so it'd be 12 years?
2012, yeah, about 12 years.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, a long time ago. So this is a little darker though, so let's get some brighter pictures here. Another amazing sci-fi landscape. Again, texture really screaming out at you. As well as the use of X-Pods, Dan. You were talking about that earlier.
That's right, yeah, I got a couple of the trans yellow X-Pod cores there for the backs of these little crab-like creatures with this, is it like wood exploding out of the top of
Maybe
them?
hair or some sort of...
Yeah, I love these columns though. The greebling is fantastic. It's busy yet very clean at the same time, and that's a very hard balance. It's a very hard line to walk. Is getting a lot of detail, but having it still look clean and not just like noise or like mess.
Well defined.
Yes, absolutely.
Alex, what do you think of some of these big sci-fi landscapes?
I mean, I love the colors going on, especially in that last one. Kind of the medium azure tans always look so good together.
Exactly.
Make them look bad.
The use of color is pretty inspired in some of these, and these last two I think are more recent, going up to like 2020, 2022. So Bart has not slowed down at all. He's been building this whole time, and you can go check him out on Instagram. We'll see his Instagram in the credits at the end of the show.
Awesome.
You can go follow him there. I think it's just Bart dot D Doblair Instagram, so you can check him out there.
Awesome.
The second one I want to bring up, another notable sci-fi builder. We're going from castle to sci-fi, of course. This is going to be Blake Foster.
Yes.
Who, Daniel, you know about Blake. Tell us about
Blake.
Blake.
I don't just know about Blake. I know Blake.
Yeah, you've met Blake multiple times.
He's still a major contributor to the LEGO community at large, and more specifically the New Hashima collaboration. One of the shining highlights of New Hashima was the train that was running through the center, and Blake was solely responsible for building that huge train, which has won probably at least a couple awards now in various categories at various conventions. He's also working on a brand new topper building for New Hashima, which has not yet debuted, but I've gotten to see the work in progress pictures that have been coming out for probably close to a year now.
Incredible.
Blake is always a very parts intensive builder. I would say he has some of the densest and probably most heavy builds because of the sheer number of little brackets and snot bricks that he utilizes to get pieces to line up just exactly the way he wants, and it really pays off in the end. He just does fantastic work. Anything he builds.
We've talked about great use of texture, but this is a great use of texture, but it's also a refined and deliberate use of texture.
Absolutely.
So it shows a level of skill which is mind-boggling to me.
This has to be very clean and polished and intentional looking still, as opposed to landscape or rock work, which can be a little more random or deteriorated.
And this is just one of probably 100 similar
Wow.
builds on
Yeah.
his Flickr. You can also find him on Instagram. I think it's Blake Foster AFOL.
Correct. Yes.
And so definitely check him out. Alex, did you know about Blake Foster before this stream? Have you seen
I
his
wasn't
builds
familiar.
before?
I'm sure I've seen some of his builds
Mhm.
out there before.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's incredible.
Really fun stuff. So definitely go give Blake a follow. He's been active since the early days of Flickr as well.
Look at that stand too.
I know,
the
The
stand is
number
as
of
cool
parts
as
you
the-
put into a stand for a vehicle.
It's so elaborate. Like that could just be a block of 2x4s, and
Yeah.
instead it's as angular as the ship. So.
Right.
But that takes us on to our next segment, which is going to be
That's right. We're going to do our Superfan Showcase, which is our section where we will show off all of your mocks. That is our followers and our viewers on YouTube and
That's
Instagram and all of our social media. So this is our chance to let you all show off some of your work on our stream, and we get to talk about it as well. So let's see, who did we get submitting to our Superfan Showcase for this week, Mark?
So it's interesting, Daniel. We had nobody as of yesterday, just because we hadn't had a chance to promote it very well.
Mhm.
Our normal Wednesday news broadcast was unfortunately interrupted due to bad
Yep.
Wi-Fi. We've been lucky so far. Hopefully, we'll be good the rest of the stream.
Yep.
And we sent out a last-minute call via picture on a post on Instagram, Facebook, I think even on YouTube as well. Many people responded.
Yeah.
So we
that's
have
awesome.
we have a whole list of people here. So we're gonna blaze through these. The first one is from Vance, and you can find Vance at Earthbricks on
Not
Instagram.
Vance Refrigeration.
Not Vance
Oh.
Refrigeration. That's Vance's first name. And then so Earthbricks on Instagram and YouTube, and they have made some really cool Lord of the Rings themed
Ooh.
creations.
It's a great time for this.
So this is the Door of Durin, or Doors of Durin,
Yes.
and this is one of the builds that they made. So it's super cool. I mean, look at that textural work. You got the
That's
trees.
nice.
Oh, the trees are awesome.
It's really nice. So I love the use of the transparent light blue and this kind of scrolly, swirly leaf pieces really capturing that mosaic look.
Yeah, and the way that the trans neon blue is actually set back into the wall and the stone is out front gives it that look like it's actually been carved in, and the magic is sort of
Yeah,
coming out
that's
from
nice.
from within the rock. Now, of course, with those the smaller sort of curly pieces, you don't really have a choice, but fantastic usage there.
Mhm.
I'd be interested to know if this has any lights in it.
This
If it
is
does or
one
not.
that would be very exceptional
Yeah,
with some lights.
yeah.
It already really looks great.
Not
but-
everybody's into mock lighting, but
Yeah, and it's a matter of taste because
Yeah.
when you're using lights in mocks, typically you can't resort to Lego lights.
Mhm.
They're not as common or accessible, so
Right.
you have to kind of go for fairy lights. If you're willing to make that step, I think it's worth the adventure.
I think with this one, with lighting, you don't need lights inside necessarily.
Mhm.
Just have light focused on it,
sure, yeah.
that would look really
Almost
nice.
like a
especially
spotlight.
light focused on
Yeah.
the door.
Mhm.
But Vance sent us 2 mocks, so let's talk about the second one. This is I want to pronounce it right,
Ooh.
Amenhen.
That's nice.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so this is pretty much the end of the first Lord of the Rings movie, if I'm not mistaken, when they get in the boat and they start making their way, in the next part of the adventure. So you got kind of a slice of life happening here. Nice little landscape, some nice trees,
that's quite
and I like
big.
that water sticking out, creating an illusion of
I love that.
underwater, the surface. So what do you guys think about this build?
Yeah, that's great. They've captured basically several scenes from that, ending section of the first movie. So yeah, you've got Frodo heading out in the canoe. I don't see Sam, but he's probably either swimming or more like
I think
drowning,
I see him
trying to get to him.
Nice,
behind
nice.
a
Yeah.
rock
I'm in the
here.
water.
There you go.
Yep, and then deep back in the woods, you've got that sort of raised up platform, I think, with that large, I guess it's like a griffin statue or an eagle statue or something
Yeah,
up there
a
where
platform, yeah.
Aragorn is, and then I'm guessing Boromir is kind of nestled in the woods
Yep.
there, probably maybe with some arrows sticking out of him.
Down on the left. Yep.
Yeah, this is a great way to capture a number of those scenes all at once, sort of in one little slice, like you mentioned.
Yeah, really good landscaping, trees. I always like to see that. So
Absolutely.
more castle, yeah. I'm sneaking it in. There's one day we'll have an all castle
You
stream,
get
but I
your
won't tell
fix.
anyone.
Yeah, you get
It'll
your
be
fix.
it'll be great.
Yeah, surprise
But
builds.
among the many people who submitted builds is a couple friends of mine. The Brick Twins on YouTube. I got to meet them when I went to a convention in Orlando this last summer.
Awesome.
2 really great little guys. They're already well on their way to becoming Lego master builders.
Excellent.
And their first build that they wanted to submit was this beach environment. They took a bunch of
Ooh,
pieces and
what's going
figures to create a little scene for their city. I think I see the Disney castle back there, some other builds and
Mhm.
sets happening too. So really excited to see this build from them. Appreciate them sending it in last minute like everybody who did.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this little beach here?
Absolutely. This is great. I love all of the fun scenes that are going on with all the minifigures. I love all the different builds for the palm trees that they got. I've seen a number of different techniques going on there for various palm trees. I like the lighthouse up there in the corner. So it's a nice little blend of things for a fun little beach scene. Lots of characters and animals going on.
Yep. So cool. I like a good environment. This also gives me some Where's Waldo vibes.
Yeah,
so it's
there
like
you go. That's
if
good.
they had some things that we were specifically supposed to look for, that would be a
It's
great little
fantastic
challenge.
idea.
I love the little spider jumping out of the changing hut there. That's pretty fun. So lots of great details there.
I love the waves there.
Exactly.
You know, it really looks like there's waves.
Some
There's
choppy
it's a
blue
little bit
waves.
choppy,
Yeah.
so it can be hard to get with Lego. So I think great job.
Lego should make a Where's Waldo minifigure. They don't even have to make a set for it. They could just put him out in a poly bag, just a minifigure in a poly bag, and then you can buy it and put him in different mocks and things and hide him anywhere.
We need to talk to Big Kid Rex and some of our custom minifig guys to make that for us.
Somebody's
Yeah.
definitely making a custom one.
We need to
Yeah.
do the research on that one. And of course, our beloved Geology Joe was not going to let us down and have us with no mocks for this segment.
What's he got for us this week?
A couple. So Geology Joe is a
Oh,
prolific mock builder. This is one of his modular buildings that he customized and built. I think that's some sand blue in there.
It
Yeah,
is,
it's
yes.
always nice.
He's making me. He's gonna make me drool.
Daniel's getting excited over here. But now, have you guys either attempted to? I know you've made some micro modulars, Daniel. But either of you tried the modular buildings design before?
Never a full-sized one.
Mhm.
No.
No.
Well, I guess if you count the ones that I've done for the city,
That's
did like
true.
those are like half-size modulars. They're not full 32 by
Almost
32
modular
base plates.
size.
They're like medium-sized ones.
Besides the city, I don't think I've ever attempted anything of this particular genre. So it's really
Yeah.
cool to see that detail. So
It looks awesome. This looks just like one that could have fit in with that first batch of 5 or so.
mhm.
I mean, this looks very reminiscent of Greengrocer or even the Firehouse, somewhat with those brick details on the corners. So
Exactly.
this would definitely
Yeah.
fit right in there.
And then you've got a couple other buildings here. Some nice colors again. I love Geology Joe's color choices and all these subtle yet vibrant.
Mhm.
So very nice.
Well, and this is great because the modular buildings they're putting out lately are all very specific buildings now
Mhm.
for specific purposes, or they're very hyper detailed and have a lot of signage going on. So you almost there's almost a lack nowadays with the official modulars of just sort of plain looking buildings which you can
Yeah,
slot
we don't
in.
get that much.
Now we do have an early rumor for the one that's coming out this year, which is that it's I think just going to be some townhouses. So hopefully we'll get some kind of more plain looking modular buildings once again. But
exactly.
I think it's kind of refreshing and kind of tones down the
Realistic.
chaos of your
Yeah.
Lego city a little bit if you're only a purist modular collector.
Realistic colors for buildings. I'm
Yeah.
not going to complain about at all.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, Alex, did you notice the fact that this is a rocks
I did.
shop?
That's perfect. Geology Joe, your rock shop there. Oh my god, that's just so very you, and it's good to see that.
I could see Geology Joe spending a lot of time at a rock shop.
Mhm.
Yeah, just looking at all the geodes and things to see.
Put a Lego shop right next to it, and
There you go.
perfect.
He'd be awesome.
You need to get your sig fig in there, Geology Joe, selling, peddling your wares.
Exactly. Bringing in more inventory. Yeah.
Sure,
so-
sure. Or maybe if you're not the owner or the purveyor of this rock shop, maybe you're coming in as a consultant, as the professor from the local college.
That would be like such a great, character to the
There you
scene.
go.
Geology Joe's got a. I think he built his own environment to put himself in. He's ready to go.
Perfect.
But yeah, we have longer lists here. So we're going to move on to Mark Anderson, who made a Minecraft jump. We talked about Minecraft
very
with you
exciting.
earlier,
Yeah,
Alex.
I can't wait
This
to
is
see
Mark
this.
Anderson's build. There's a
Oh,
view
that's
of it there.
nice.
Let me see if I can
Yeah.
get a more encompassing picture.
Oh
here.
yeah, this is really.
So
nice.
there's a lot going on.
Oh wow.
I
Yeah.
love how it's modular. You can connect it in
Mhm.
spots.
Yep.
Love how it's you've got underground plus above ground. I love because in Minecraft, when you play the game, there can be some really kind of wonky looking like rock work and stuff, and I love how I really embrace that in this mod.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of, you can see different ore types, you can see different textures. You can see like there's the lush cave down here on the left, you got the house up on the top, and this is a tall build. It's got
Yeah.
many stories and many
Studios.
Yeah.
But something that I think is really done better here is that you can actually see
Oh, wow.
the repeating textures.
Yes.
So because the ores are all constructed in the same manner and they're actually clustered together in veins like they would be in the game, or we've got some wooden blocks down here in the mine shaft, or the sandstone that's layered underneath the sand blocks, you can actually see that repeating pattern, which makes it look more like it would in the game.
Yeah.
I actually had to do a double take at the wood blocks down there, which either looked like maybe just stacked jumpers or maybe the backsides of masonry bricks. You're actually getting that layering like there is in the planks in the wood block texture. So that really makes this look like Minecraft to me. I think is having a little more texture to it instead of just plain colored blocks to represent each different type.
I think I would never attempt to put birch columns in my house in Minecraft, but they actually look terrific here
Yeah.
because
It
it's a little
looks like
splash
birch.
of color.
It
Yeah,
looks like birch from here.
very well achieved. So
Yeah.
lots of great details there.
Fantastic.
Good job.
And last but not least, we have a couple creations from Anthony Jones. They didn't give me a lot of information. I don't know if we can find them on Instagram or anything. But Anthony Jones sent us several cool action builds, which I want to show you guys. You got Indiana Jones here entering the,
Classic.
some sort of tomb or monolith here, and
Sure.
there's a nice little background there too, with some trees and a dock.
Yeah, I
And,
love the bridge there with that nice kind of sag in it using those tread pieces.
Yes.
Exactly. There's also a skeleton under the bridge there,
or
so
at least a torso.
a little bit of story there.
Yeah.
Another action pose here. We've got a saloon. We got a robot or alien here, and a cowboy shooting laser guns. Very dynamic pose here.
Yeah.
So take note of that. And you also got like a wagon that's being overturned behind him and a mountain in the background. So there's layers here. I like what's going on here.
This looks like something you would see in the Lego movie, right? When they go to the old West town and then there's robots coming in and they're just shooting them with lasers. And
That might be
stuff.
what's happening here.
Maybe
yeah.
so. Maybe so. That's what it reminds me of.
We don't have the full context of all these adventures, but I'm just liking some of the action and story that's happening.
Absolutely.
Here.
Yeah, incredible.
And Alex, you might like this. There's a knight fighting a
Whoa,
T-Rex
yeah,
here in
that's
front of
so
what
fun.
looks like the pyramid. So
I love all the different things you're putting together throughout
Mhm.
time and history, and this makes it a lot of fun. Very eye-catching. For sure.
exactly, these are like exactly what I would have been doing when I was about a little younger. Just a lot of fun. You got like a little landscape to the left, skeletons down below, of course, suggesting that this is not a friendly T-Rex. So I really like these scenes a lot. It was really catching my attention.
So
That's
in order
great.
to elevate these kind of pictures, I know in the past, my brother and I have gone from, with lighting and stuff. Do you have any recommendations for like backdrops, lighting, just to really elevate MOCs?
Well, Anthony has done like some of the first essential things, which is have a plain colored background, which helps a lot. A few more bright lights would help illuminate some specific areas, but it's a great first couple builds here that are looking really nice.
Yeah.
So. So a lot of great creations throughout this entire stream. So many castles, so many great adventures. I've really enjoyed everything.
Absolutely.
Anything else we need to add, Daniel? That's about it.
Well, I want to thank all the people who sent in builds
Exactly.
for our Superfan Showcase. And this is your reminder that it's never too early to send in your MOCs for our next Superfan Showcase, which should be about a month from now. So if you have some MOCs that you finished up, go ahead and send in pictures now, or set yourself a reminder so you remember to do it before next time. The way that you can do that, if you want to get your MOCs submitted to our Superfan Showcase, is to just email them to Mark, which is
Mark
what's your email?
at atlbrick.com.
Perfect, easy to remember. Mark at atlbrick.com.
Very simple.
Just send them in with either Moc Talk or Superfan Showcase or something in the subject line, and we'll make sure that we get those in there. We would also appreciate it if you like this video or this live stream, and if you enjoy my Moc Talk, share it with a friend. Tell somebody else to come join and check out the show as well. That would definitely help us out and get some other people to support all of these fabulous MOC builders that we like to show off here on this show. That's really what this show is all about, is introducing y'all to some popular as well as some new MOC builders so that you can expand your community and expand your circle of friends and people that you follow to see all the great things that they build. Because as MOC builders, we all know that we pour our hearts and souls and a lot of time into what we do as MOC builders, and so the more people and the more eyes that you get in front of, the better. So
Let me save this credits picture really quick. And
oh
then
yeah,
we
you're
will-
good. You're good.
It got saved in the wrong section here. Let me get this up for us really quick. This would be important if you want to follow all these excellent builders and see more of their awesome creations. Let me see if I can get this uploaded really quick here.
Absolutely, we'll get that up so that we can have it on record in the video of all the people who we showed off this week.
There we go.
And you can make sure you've got all of their handles on their various platforms so you can go give everybody a follow. So, with all of that said, we will go ahead and hit our outro here. Moc Talk is made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye bye.